Good evening and welcome to the Ghana TV9 News Bulletin for Monday, December 8, 2025. I'm Coleman Abrams. In the headlines tonight, prosecutors reject Mohammed's constitutional challenge as baseless in extradition case. President Ali highlights unity, growth, and national pride at One Ghana Christmas Village. UG expands nationwide marine training, 9 campuses teaching quality, upgraded. EPA launches high-tech crackdown, real-time surveillance for every offshore well. And police probe break-in at Home Affairs Ministry, one suspect nabbed. Now for the news in depth. The extradition hearing for U.S. indicted businessmen Nazar and Azruddin Mohammed resumed on Monday, with state prosecutors delivering a forceful rejection of what they say is a baseless and premature constitutional challenge filed by the defense. The father-son duo wanted in the United States on charges including money laundering and gold smuggling and tax evasion are contesting the legality of the 2009 amendments of the Ghana's Fugitive Offenders Act. Their attorneys argue that the amendments limit constitutional protections and should be reviewed by the High Court before the extradition process can proceed. Adonna Dorick was at the court on Monday and filed this report.
Lead prosecutor Terrence Williams delivered an unambiguous rebuttal asserting that the Mohammed's legal team has not identified any legitimate constitutional issue capable of halting the extradition proceedings. Williams argued that the defense's reliance on the principle of speciality, which governs the offenses for which an extradited person may be tried, is fundamentally misplaced. Speciality is not a prohibition, it is a restriction with qualifications. Parliament establishes the restrictions and can therefore qualify them. There is no constitutional or inherent right to speciality, Williams told the court. He stressed that although the Fugitive Offenders Act includes several safeguards, not every legislative provision rises to the level of constitutional protection. The prosecution's positions were strengthened, Williams said, by a diplomatic note dated Friday, December 5th, a written assurance from the United States guaranteeing that the Mohammeds would not be extradited to a third country. It provides what the extradition treaty doesn't. The U.S. has given the assurance, meaning the defense submissions won't hold. We need not look any further for provisions on the speciality principle, he added.
Well, the main argument was that the constitutional issues do not arise for the consideration of the learned magistrate. The application is frivolous and vexatious because, first of all, there are no real constitutional issues, and they certainly do not arise for consideration at this time. First, because many of these rights which they rely on expressly exclude extradition from consideration, and also because the magistrate has a certain duty to perform, and the duty that she has to perform does not include the considerations that the defendants have raised.
Williams also dismissed the defense's citation of the Barry Dataram extradition case, saying the ruling was made under a previous version of the law that has since been superseded. The amendment was made because of him. He cannot speak to the constitutionality of the amendment, Williams said. Despite the prosecution's position, the defense insisted that the amendment significantly alter due process protections and therefore merit review by the High Court.
Well, the arguments today centered around the unconstitutionality of the amendments made in 2009. We believe that we would have presented the arguments clearly, which shows the potential unconstitutionality and the basis for the referral to the High Court.
Senior prosecutor Harbert Mackenzie supported Williams' arguments, explaining that extradition operates under its own legal framework. Extradition is a unique set of proceedings for which the Constitution makes specific provision, he said, calling it a hybrid construct rooted in both treaty obligations and the authority of the states. Mackenzie said the defense is attempting to elevate ordinary statutory interpretations into constitutional questions that simply do not exist. Earlier in the day, the defense requested more time to prepare a written reply to the prosecution's submissions. Magistrate Judy Latchman granted the extension, giving them until Tuesday, December 9th. However, Lachman made it clear that her ruling on the constitutional submissions will still be delivered on Wednesday, December 10th, whether or not the defense submits its reply on time. The outcome will determine whether the matter is sent to the High Court or continues before her. Adana Dorek, Ghana TV9 News.
The University of Ghana is rapidly expanding its footprint and upgrading its programs as part of a nationwide push to meet the growing demand for modern career-focused tertiary education. Vice Chancellor Dr. Paloma Mohammed Martin says the transformation is aimed at ensuring students across all regions have access to high-quality learning opportunities aligned with Ghana's evolving workforce needs. Faith Sandy has this story.
UG's Institute for Marine and Riverine Economics and Ecologies, IMARI, at the Berbice campus is now one of its most strategic additions. Developed to train specialists in areas such as marine logistics, port management, port security, marine biology, and riverine studies. This initiative directly supports Guyana's expanding offshore oil and marine sectors, preparing students for roles in deep and ultra-deep water operations.
We also have opened up a big space in the marine sector because, as you know, a lot of our um, uh, exploration is really deep, ultra deep sea at the moment. We might change that and have a mix later on, but for now, everything is in ultra deep waters. And so the requirements for marine scientists, people who understand porting, management of ports, everything to do with water and so on. So we've created actually a institute that's based in our Berbice campus called the Institute for Marine, Riverine Economies and Ecologies. It's known as IMARI. And that offers a whole range of programs from port security to management and logistics for ports, marine and the marine biology side, a whole number of programs.
To reduce congestions at the Turkine campus and improve regional access, UG now operates 9 campuses across the country. The multi-campus model allows students to study closer to home while ensuring major campuses do not exceed capacity. Dr. Mohammed Martin says this model is key to delivering equitable opportunities for students regardless of where they live.
We still need spaces for classes because these classes and the numbers are expanding, right? So, and we have small rooms because we were a small university. In order to actually get everybody where we want them to be, we have to see some major building room, not only on this campus, but as you know, we have a system of 9 campuses across the country. A lot of people.
UG has intensified its teaching standards through the Office of Quality Assurance. Measures now include enhanced lecturer training, student feedback surveys, WhatsApp support lines, the introduction of chatbots, and the appointment of a new quality assurance director. The Vice Chancellor says these steps are designed to ensure consistent teaching performance and stronger learning outcomes across all faculties.
Whereas in the past, they might have had only one person there, now there's sometimes up to 3 or 4 because one person cannot manage all the students. And a lot of times you might hear people say, oh, they're calling UG and this department is not answering. It's not because they're not working, it's because you have now 4 times the number of students calling that one person. So there's no way that everybody's going to get answered. So we are in the process of now opening up the numbers so that more people could respond. We're also employing technology.
With expanded marine training, a wider national campus network, and upgraded teaching quality, the University of Guyana is positioning itself as a modern, accessible, and future-ready institution, equipped to meet the demands of a rapidly developing Guyanese economy. Faith Sandy, Guyana TV9 News.
The Ghana Council of Organizations for Persons with Disabilities is closing out what it describes as a highly successful year, marked by expanded programs, strengthened partnerships, and new data-driven advocacy efforts. According to Program Manager Ganesh Singh, the organization made significant progress in empowering persons with disabilities through initiatives centered on independence, education, employment readiness, and civic participation. Here's more. The Ghana Council of Organizations for Persons with Disabilities is optimistic that the upcoming national budget will allocate sufficient funding to implement the disability-related measures announced by President Ali. Program Manager Ganesh Singh, speaking exclusively with Ghana TV9 News, said he is looking forward to an increase in public assistance for unemployed persons with disabilities to help ensure a basic livable income. Singh welcomed President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali's announcement of an upcoming cash grant for persons with disabilities, acknowledging that many individuals require immediate support. At the same time, the organization emphasized that the cash grant should not overshadow the long-term initiatives also outlined by the president, which have far more sustainable potential.
In need. However, I don't want us to just focus on the cash grant. And I think our society, we have, we've just been focused on cash grant for the past few months.
Or year.
Which is a short-term measure.
Yeah.
In the speech where the president announced the cash grant for persons with disabilities, he also announced a suite of other measures that are long-term and are sustainable. And those measures will transform the lives of persons with disabilities.
Singh explains that while the organization benefited from stable funding due to strong partnerships, it encountered challenges related to stakeholder coordination. Several partners were unable to work within the organization's required timeframes, which affected timelines for certain initiatives. The availability of instructors for vocational training programs also provided challenges at times, leading to delays in both starting and completing courses. In 2026, the organization, Singh said, plans to continue all its major programs, including orientation and mobility training, youth empowerment initiatives, vocational skills development, and its transition education program funded by MODEC. The council intends to maintain close collaboration with government ministries, UN agencies, and other partners to ensure the continued advancement of the rights and opportunities for persons with disabilities.
In the wider society, I'm optimistic that we will continue to see the transformation of the disability landscape over the next year, because we've seen a lot of measures already implemented, like with the Center for Equity, Opportunities and Innovation there in Palmyra, that's the Empower Ghana Business Center. We would have already seen how that center would have transformed the lives of over 120 persons with disabilities.
Through the Board of Industrial Training, over 120 persons with disabilities completed skills programs this year, while another 90 are currently participating. Additional training support by the Basic Needs Trust Fund benefited 60 more individuals. The council also partnered with UNICEF to deliver financial literacy workshops to youth and young adults with disabilities, helping participants understand Ghana's financial systems and strengthen their money management skills. They expressed gratitude to the government of Ghana for its continued support.
On behalf of the Ghana Council of Organizations for Persons with Disabilities and the wider disability community, I would like to thank His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, Her Excellency Ari Ali, ministers of the government, and the government as a whole for their vision and support towards the empowerment of persons with disabilities. And we've seen that over the past few years, and I'm optimistic that it will continue. On behalf of the organization, the Ghana Council, I would also like to thank all of our donors, sponsors, and partners for their support over the year. And I trust that we will continue to partner and benefit from your support.
Colwyn Abrams, Ghana TV9 News. The Ministry of Home Affairs is confirming key developments after a daring early morning break and enter at its Brickdam office on Monday. CCTV footage shows the suspect slipping through an eastern washroom window before roaming the middle flat with a large black travel bag, then escaping via a fire escape and scaling the fence. Police have since arrested a suspect and recovered items believed to be stolen from the ministry. Officials are praising the swift response of the Ghana Police Force and the alert security team. The investigation remains active as authorities work to close the case. President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali delivered an uplifting and wide-ranging address at the One Ghana Christmas Village, celebrating the nation's continued transformation, rising global presence, and the unifying spirit of the holiday season. The event, now a fairly rooted part of Ghana's Christmas celebrations, drew large crowds, including members of the diplomatic community, families from across the country, and visitors from abroad. Here's more.
President Ali opened by reflecting on how rapidly time has passed since the first Christmas village 5 years ago and praised the efforts of the ministries, support agencies, and volunteers who have elevated the event into a major national attraction. The president pointed to the massive national development happening across Ghana: roads, bridges, hospitals, agriculture, tourism, hotels, and housing. He emphasized that the momentum is intentional and built through planning, investment, and belief in the people. He stressed that this development must be felt in every household, not just reflected in the headlines. A rising tide, he noted, must lift every Guyanese.
Guyana is rising with unprecedented momentum. We want citizens to be part of this transformation, as development must never be confined to headlines. It must be felt in households. This progress is not accidental. I don't have the type of muscle power to lift him up this time. This progress is not accidental. It is intentional. It is built on planning, investment, and belief in our people. A rising tide must lift the boat of every Guyanese. Still, the Christmas message reminds us to remain humble and grateful.
A significant portion of the president's address focused on compassion, responsibility, and Ghana's duty towards its most vulnerable. He stressed that the elderly, differently abled, and children rely on national solidarity, and that government programs, from food hampers to children's parties, are not seasonal gestures, but acts of national responsibility. President Ali urged citizens to remember that unity is not seasonal, but a national responsibility. He said that unity should guide interactions across differences, noting that respect transforms diversity into strength. As he encouraged responsible celebration, he issued a powerful plea to avoid drinking and driving, asking Guyanese to prioritize life, safety, and family during the season. Addressing Ghana's epidemic of road deaths, the president delivered a powerful call to action.
I urge you to celebrate responsibly, care for each other, and keep safe first. Keep safety first as your guiding principle. Celebrations means nothing if it does not preserve life. Be safe on the road. Slow down. Slow down. Life is more valuable arriving alive. Stop the drinking and driving. Your family wants you home alive.
The president addressed those who use public platforms, especially social media, to spread misinformation or division. He assures that the government continues to care for all citizens and wishes them peace and blessings.
The naysayers, the haters, and those who use space available to them on social media to spread mischief, division, tell lies, and to destroy the fabric of community and country. I say to you, we love you, we care for you, and may God bless you.
As the event continued with performances and community activities, President Ali reaffirmed Ghana is one shared home that will be built stronger and better through collective efforts. He reminded attendees that there is only one Ghana, one nation strengthened through unity, compassion, and shared purpose. Colin Abrams, Ghana TV9 News.
More news after the break. Stay with us.
Guyana, Channel 9 is now Guide TV9, proudly under new management. We're building stronger with a balanced and open platform for all advertisers. Whether you're promoting a business, service, or event, your message belongs right here. So choose your spot, news, prime time, or anytime, and reach viewers across Guyana. With affordable rates and professional service, Guide TV9 is your partner in progress. So visit us at Lot 21A, Lamahar Street, Georgetown, in the Century 21 building, or call 600-5006 or 761-5006. Guyana TV9. New leadership, fresh outlook, real results.
Celebrate Christmas the Guyanese way with 7 days of magic and adventure. Feel the streets come alive with lights, decor, and carols. Share in the delicious joy of favorites like pepper pot, black cake, and even ginger beer. Then explore Guyana's attractions, the majestic kite show, scenic tour on the Demerara Essequibo, and Mahaika Rivers. 7 days, one unforgettable Christmas. Join us. Let's discover Guyana this Christmas.
Want to place your death announcements and in memoriam messages on Channel 9? Call 592-761-5006, 710-5008, 600-5006. Or visit our office at Lot 85A Lamaha Street, Albertown, Georgetown, Century 21 building.
Guyana, get ready for Sundown 2025, the country's biggest electronic music and arts festival, featuring Danik from the Netherlands, Walshy Fire of Major Lazer, Lip Prince, creator of Reggaetronics, and Helang from New York. An open-air festival packed with massive light shows, art installations, and the main stage by the ocean. December 6th, Marriott Beachfront, Georgetown. Time, 3 p.m. till 2 a.m. Tickets available online at ticketgateway.com. Eventbrite and Potsalt. For physical ticket locations, visit BPM Guyana on all socials. Sundown 2025. Guyana's EDM movement starts here.
Welcome back. You're watching the Guyana TV9 News Bulletin. The Environmental Protection Agency, EPA Executive Director Kemraj Harsram says Guyana's offshore monitoring system is entering a new phase of accountability and real-time oversight. Harsram explained that the EPA is tightening surveillance on oil companies to reduce environmental risks and respond faster to offshore incidents. Here's more.
Parsram revealed that the EPA has partnered with Maxar Technologies, giving Guyana access to satellite-based spill detection tools capable of identifying oil slicks instantly. The system can show the size, location, and movement of any potential spill, allowing the EPA to monitor offshore operations continuously.
We're leveraging technology, and technology exists. And as I said, we have that partnership with Maxar, where we can look at spill detection and look at the extent of spill. When it happens, we get an alert. Drilling of wells is one, I believe, is one of the most critical areas and the most likely risky areas. And so we wanted to see when a well is being drilled, what's the condition on the seafloor before, whilst they're drilling, and what's the condition after.
The executive director also confirmed that the EPA is rolling out stricter reporting rules for all offshore operators. Companies must now submit daily production reports and provide mandatory updates for every well drilled. In addition, they're required to share ROV, underwater robot footage showing the condition of the seafloor before drilling begins, during operations, and after drilling ends.
ROV is right. Okay, will be there taking static pictures. We put that in because that is what is available right now. But the intention is to actually have live video as much as possible. So that will may be a future. Once it's available and we're capable of getting it, then that will be inserted in the permit so that we can see live when they're drilling. If anything happens, we can see whether it's negligence, whether it's pure mistake or unavoidable. All of those things we're able to see.
Parshram emphasized that these upgrades represent Guyana's strongest push yet toward safe, transparent, and technology-driven oil production. He said the EPA will continue strengthening its oversight to ensure all operators meet the highest environmental standards as Guyana's offshore industry expands. Faith Sandy, Guyana TV9 News.
Students across Georgetown shared their reaction to the government of Ghana's newly launched Ghana Digital School, a nationwide online platform designed to provide every student with equal access to quality education. The initiative announced last Friday aims to remove barriers such as transportation, limited resources, and the cost of extra lessons, making classroom learning available anytime, anywhere.
The Guyana Digital School delivers full secondary level content online, allowing students to review lessons, access notes, revise, and even join classes from home or while working. With UG now tuition free and digital education expanding, the government says this platform will support upskilling, reduce inequality, and open new academic pathways for all Guyanese. Listen as students express their gratitude and share how this new digital school will help them study more flexibly, overcome challenges, and access opportunities that were once out of reach.
I think the initiative is very innovative and very active of the government. It is really inspiring to see that all students around the Guyana and the Caribbean can have equal resources, and even those who don't have the right resources, they can now have the resources, and those who don't have transportation and other methods of not being able to do what some have, now everyone can do it.
The same way someone would be studying and working at the same time, I think it's a lot more better for them because while they're working, they can tune into a class and they can just learn as they're on the job site or whatever.
When you go on the road, right, you see a vendor there, you go up to them, you realize that some of them like dropped out of school or because they don't have a degree in a certain subject or road business when it was offered to them in secondary school, they don't really have that much opportunities in jobs. So they end up becoming vendors. I'm not saying that all vendors don't have, right? Some choose to be there. But now with the government making UG free, most people go back to UGs. They go to school now. It's a really amazing opportunity for them to experience school back again, this time with less, what would you say, obstacles as before.
So to me, I think it gives a very good opportunity to everyone to access the platform much more easier. And so, because back then it was pretty hard when it comes to these things, but now the government have done these things, it has set a very good initiative when it comes to youth and stuff.
It could benefit them in a lot of ways, like most parents can't afford lessons and otherwise, so it's doing a really good job. I like for school, like what he said, that most schools who don't like when children gotta travel like far distance just to come. Schools like right here, like they could be home and learning from home or like other place and what's not. It's like a great job. It's great.
I think the government's initiative is very efficient because let's say you fall sick one day and you can't make it to class, you have the digital school to go to get back the notes that you lost, which prepares you in advance for the next class if they're going to recap on the notes, which gives you an advantage.
The Guyana Digital School has already sparked excitement and hope among young people, signaling a future where every learner, regardless of their circumstances, can thrive. Faith Sandy, Guyana TV9 News.
Now for some regional news. Miss Universe Jamaica 2025 Dr. Gabrielle Henry is expected to return home soon after weeks of hospitalization in Thailand following a dangerous fall from the main stage during the November 19 preliminaries. Her family and the Miss Universe organization say she will be transported with full medical escort. Dr. Henry suffered intracranial hemorrhage, fractures, facial lacerations, and other serious injuries. She will continue treatment upon arrival as supporters across the Caribbean send prayers for her ongoing recovery. And internationally, Japan was shaken by a powerful magnitude 7.6 earthquake off Hokkaido on Monday, triggering urgent tsunami alerts for waves up to 10 feet. The quake struck roughly 30 miles beneath the sea near Amori, prompting coastal evacuations and immediate safety checks on nuclear plants. By afternoon, the warning was downgraded to an advisory, and there is no threat to North America. Japan, still mindful of the catastrophic 2011 earthquake and tsunami, activated its full emergency response system as authorities monitored small tsunami waves and assessed damages. And that has brought us to the end of tonight's newscast. Remember to check out our Facebook and YouTube platforms at GUI TV9 for more trending stories. I'm Colin Abrams. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.